If you're like me and you are regularly working with websites and making, just mock-ups or even creating full-time websites for others, you have used stock photos. And lately, it's not only about photos, it's also about other kinds of images like graphic images and even animated images and graphics like Lottie. One of the sites I use, and there are quite a number you can go to, but the one I use is Freepikcom. One of the things you will run into is often you will find an image, and when you download it, it's actually not a normal JPEG file that you can easily work with. It's going to be a format like PSD. And you may not have Adobe Photoshop or the Creative Cloud, and you may not want to spend the money on alternatives like Affinity Photo, which I think are great options. So what can you do? Quick word, yes, I have Photoshop and I use it all the time. It's because I also use Premiere Pro, Audition, Illustrator, and Bridge. For me, it's really a good deal. I don't care about a subscription system. I'm not going to live forever. If you are looking for a dedicated photo editor that works with PSD files, which is layers, then you can definitely consider Affinity Photo 2. 2 is out. I haven't worked with 2. I still only have 1. But the great thing about this is it's a once-off payment. They often have specials running at 40% discount. I think even up to 50%. And Affinity Photo 2 is a beast, and it's a really good price. So you can check out Affinity Photo 2. The one that I'm going to recommend today, because it's an online editor, and boy, I found it's really fast. It actually does things quicker than my Photoshop, is this one called Photopea. Photopea.com. Let's first go and find a graphic, and what I'm designing is a story, Instagram story like for my website. And I want to bring that in, but I'm going to find that it's locked in a PSD, it's locked in layers, or well, it's designed in layers, and there are elements that I don't want. If you go to freepik.com, you will see they have a section here called PSD, and this is where you're going to find many of these Instagram stories. If you want to try along, go here to the license on the left and select free, and this will filter it for you. And look at all of these designs that you can use for free. Just check the license every time, how much you can do with it within the free license. What I'm looking for then is Instagram stories. I don't see any that pops out at this moment. And we can just go into the search and I will look for Instagram stories. And I hope I can yeah, there we go. You see, this is a typical Instagram stories. This is also what we're going to be doing for our website. I'll find this one here because I think this is real nice and colorful. I like the backgrounds. What you're going to do is download this, and then you're just going to remove those things that does not apply to you, which will be photos, and then of course the text and things like logo. You can see here it says file type PSD and JPG. But of course, you're not going to work with the JPEG because it will lock in all these images. It's not layered. You will need the PSD for that. So I click on download and it will download it for me as a zip file. Folder, show in folder, and here is the file. I'll open the zip file and then grab the PSD file and drag it to wherever I want it. I'll drag it into my downloads again. That is 7634. I have to remember this. Okay, so only one PSD for today. Now what I do is I go to Photopea. You'll see how quick this thing is. Open from computer. I'll click here on this PSD and it opens up for me. You're going to have these ads here in the right-hand corner running because it's a free platform, but don't let that discourage you. This is a really powerful editor. This is a pretty big file, so it's taking some time to think. Let me just close this bar. And then on the right is where you will see the layers. So you have post 1. What you do is you click on this little view button and it will show the layer below it. So I'll deselect everyone except the last one we want to start here. Or rather, let's start with post 1. And I can just click, hold, and drag like this. So we start at the top with this one. Unfold it. And then what you want to remove are those things not applicable to you, like the logo. And they've named it really aptly. That makes it really easy to use. So I'll deselect the logo. I'll deselect the text. And then I need to get rid of this guy. Is he the image? Indeed, he's the image. Now you have a question. Is it fashion or not? If you're doing it for fashion, you can leave that in there. But if you don't want the fashion and you click here, it's going to remove all of those design elements and you only want the fashion word to disappear. So unfold fashion. And then you see here, actually there's a text area for fashion. Click on that and it removes that. Amazing, right? Next, we're going to export it and I'm going to do that as a JPEG. Go to the file option and export as, and I'll select JPEG. If you just have a few elements, you can do it as a PNG. Let's give it a better name and I'll call this Stories 01 or Stories BG for background 01. And then for my width, I'll make it 600 and quality I put on 40% and click on save. And voila, it is already saved here into my folder. Should be under my downloads as well. I can click and view it and there we have the background. That's how quickly we had removed those elements and created this spunky, nice little background. You can see it's really pixelated there. If we zoomed in, it's not looking good because I put it on a smaller resolution, but this is meant to be viewed on a mobile device. And now we go into our builder. So what I have here in WordPress, I'm working with Brizy at the moment. You have the option to create stories. And then I've already created this one, but it's empty and I'll select on edit with Brizy. To bring in a background, I'll go here to the settings at the top, click on it and then upload the image. And let's get our folder again. Here it is. Click, hold and drag, drop. And let's see how that works for us. And I think there's an overlay applied. Great. So go to overlay and say none. Amazeballs. It's done so quickly. Now I can bring in my own stuff. If I want to bring in an image, I can bring text. And remember, in the story editor, you only have to click. So I can click here on the text and then I'll drag it to where I want it. Let's say over here. Hello. And then I'll first just put that in white because we need it to be nice and eligible. And I can even give it something like a heading 1, but I need it bigger. So let's drag in. What is this? Goofy. I like that. Let's put a few exclamation marks. And then you bring in everything as needed. If I have more text that you want to add here. And look at this. You can even quickly shape the box by just grabbing those handles and constraining it. So I can have this design element pop over here. Then if you have an image, you do it here at the bottom. And that's all done with the free editor, Photopea, and getting free stock from websites that give you some options to download free stuff. And just look at these amazing options that you have for free things that you can use, not only for stories, but if you need some images like a hero image, let's just type in here a hero image and see how that looks. Look at this great options that you have. And if you need something like this where you want to have that central divider, then you can go ahead, download this, remove the text within Photopea, export it at least to 1920 pixels to your long side. I'll probably go a little bit higher, and then you have a great hero section there. So if you've always shied away from these sites because you don't have Photoshop, make an effort, go to Photopea, have a look, learn a little bit about layers. Can't do you any harm. It's almost like a black hole. Once you start, you just keep going and going and you never come out of it. From me, until next time, take care. And remember to subscribe here to our YouTube channel for Brizy and visit us at brizy.io.